Good evening, everybody. Hello, can you hear me? Where are we right now? The new H Street Giant. What do you think? Thank you. I did this last week at another store. We did it first thing in the morning, and I had like one customer. It was a lot different than it is now. Before we start, though, we're going to have a singing of National Anthem by Miss Heather Gale. Heather, please come up and lead us.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Excellent job. That was a cool experience for me, looking at the flag, looking at Abraham Lincoln and Mayor Gray as we walked in. It was very cool. Hey, next up is going to be our Giant Division President, Mr. Anthony Hucka.
Thank you, John. Heather, Miss Heather, that was absolutely beautiful. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the grand opening of H Street. This is a wonderful day for Giant Food here in nation's capital. I'd like to thank Mayor Gray. I believe he's arrived.
Right behind. Right.
Thanks very much for being here. Congresswoman Norton, I believe.
Not here yet.
She's not here yet. Okay. And I just met Councilmember Wells.
Right there.
Councilmember, nice to see you. And I also believe we have the ANC Commissioner Kazmachek. There it is. Welcome. Thanks very much for being here. I'd also like to thank Guy Stewart from Stewart Investments. This wouldn't be possible without our partnership with Guy. So where is Guy?
Right here.
He's right here. Thank you very much, Stewart Investments. And most importantly, Charlton. Where's Charlton?
Right here.
Charlton and John. Charlton's our store manager. This is the CEO right here, Charlton Clark, the CEO of the newest Giant store in the fleet. And John Hicks, our district director. Where's Chris? Chris Paradises.
Right here.
He's our regional vice president. And our newly promoted chief operating officer for Giant, Ira Kress. Where's he? Sticking at the back. Congratulations, Ira, on your promotion. So, as many of you know, we were often referred to as the nation's capital grocer. We were actually born 3 miles down the road from here, on February the 6th, 1936, at the junction of Park Road and Georgia Avenue. We're headquartered here, we live here, we work in the communities here, and it's a great legacy. It's a great legacy that we've inherited. It's a priceless legacy that we've inherited. No other grocer can claim, in fact, no other food retailer can claim to be headquartered here in the nation's capital, hence the nation's capital grocer. And we have some promises to you. We have some promises to you as our customers. We promise to be the best place to shop. We have a promise for our associates that we will be the best place to work. And we have a promise to our community, and that is that we will promise to be a better neighbor every day. Those are our promises to you. We hope you like the store. We believe that value is made up of a great assortment of fresh fresh produce, meat, deli, seafood, bakery, and floral that you'll see. A great center store. Value is made up of great prices. Value is made up of great service. And we have the best associates in the industry. So again, welcome to the grand opening of H and Third, and thanks very much. And that's my giant.
Thank you. Can you guys believe 21 months ago we broke ground here? And creating this store, we've created over 100 new jobs to Northeast DC. Most of those jobs came from this neighborhood right here. People walking up, filling out applications, starting on our team today, and you're going to see a lot of them in the yellow shirts. And hopefully we did a great job and hired the right people for the store so we can grow here and hire 100 more people. That would be very good for us. Anthony said we started here 77 years ago. We are here today. That kind of makes me think of a circle. And the Earth is a circle, a sphere, I guess you'd call it. This is actually a LEED certified building. Anyone know what that means? LEED certified? I Googled it because I didn't know. So I Googled it. That means the building is energy efficient and sustainable. Features of the building meet the benchmark of green, blah, blah, blah. It means this building is 40% more efficient than a regular building, which I think is very cool for everybody. I think the store came out great. I think the decor is beautiful. I think that once you're in here, it feels really nice. The high ceilings, the open lighting, the decor is nice. A lot of historical decor around the store came out beautiful, and came out good. I really want to thank the teams that helped us do this. Operations team, the HR team, the store team, which is all the employees that work here, the construction team. A special thank you for me personally to Harry Hush, our SOS, he's our store opening supervisor. Gary Budd, our director of refresh. They both did an outstanding job of keeping me and Charlton calm. I would like to thank the leadership of Giant, who is also here tonight, for being here, and hopefully they will not cancel out what Harry and Gary did. The calmness, we'll see. Before I turn it over to our store manager, Charlton, I want to say two more things. We're officially open. We are open right now for business, so every shopping cart that's out there needs to come in here, be filled with groceries. That includes every customer, political official, vendor, support person, myself. All going to buy some stuff here, maybe a 12-pack or two. Flowers, okay. Second thing I want to say is Triple Winner program is going on right now. Our Triple Winner campaign is to support Johns Hopkins and children with cancer. Every ticket's a scratch off, every ticket's a winner. Every ticket, 100% of the donation, the spend goes to fight children's cancer. Please, 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 on your way out, please buy some tickets to help these kids that absolutely need our help. And with that being said, I'd like to introduce our general manager of the store, Mr. Charlton Clark. Thank you.
Hello everyone, thank you for coming out to our brand new 8th Street Giant Food store. I'm very proud to be the manager of this beautiful new store, and I would like to talk about some highlights that we have here. Within this 41,000 square feet building, we will find the freshest fruits and vegetables in our expanded produce department. We're pleased to offer a full-service floral department conveniently located in the front of the store. This new giant includes a dedicated section offering a selection of natural, organic, and gluten-free products. Our deli features a wonderful selection of prepared food, including chef-created salads, as well as an olive bar with more than 200 varieties of international and domestic cheese. We have a full-service meat department with an expansive offering of products, including a service case with high-quality meats. Our seafood department features a wide variety of fresh and frozen seafood with complimentary marinades, and along with a live lobster tank. In addition, customers will find an expanded international section with an enhanced variety of products including more Hispanic, Italian, Irish, and Asian products. Our new 8th Street Giant includes a wide selection of beer and wine, including many imported products from around the world. Our 8th Street customers will benefit from the new in-store technologies, including Scan It, which is located to my left over there, and a handheld, which is a handheld device which allows customers to bag their groceries while they shop, and Order It, a deli kiosk which allows customers to digitally place their deli order while continuing shopping as their orders are being filled in the deli. Finally, our 8th Street Giant offers a large variety of general merchandise, seasonal items, health and beauty care products, and 13 checkout lanes for your convenience, including 2 scan at checkout. At this moment, I'd like to introduce my team. We'll start off in the floral department. I have Michelle. I have Ron, my produce manager back there. Lima, where are you? My meat manager. Wanda, my bakery manager. Brenda, my front end manager. Greg, my GM and HBC manager. Parker, my grocery manager. My seafood manager is absent. Okay, come on forward. These are my exempt team, my assistants. I have Gil, Troy, Brandon. Okay. At this time, I'd like to, Okay, Brandon and Tara, my deli manager. At this point, I'd like to recognize some very special guests and invite them to come up and say a few words. It's my pleasure to introduce Mayor Vincent Gray.
Well, good evening, everybody. Isn't it wonderful to see such a great crowd out here in a festive mood for the opening for what is a great addition to this neighborhood? And many of you may not know. Hi, Barry. How are you? Good to see you. Barry Shear, Mr. Giant. Many of you may not know this, but I grew up in this neighborhood. I used to walk down this street every day going to elementary school. I went to elementary school right down on the corner, Logan Elementary School at 3rd and G Street, Northeast. And no, when I was growing up, Abraham Lincoln was not the president of the United States. It's a nice touch, wasn't it, to bring Abraham Lincoln in today? Great movie. You know, in addition to bringing such a wonderful amenity to the community, and it will benefit mightily from having the development across the street, which has now been here for a few years, and of course, with the nearly 300 units that will be a part of this development, there's so many other features that are associated with this that are so positive. First of all, the LEED certification. I'm glad that that was mentioned by John earlier, because we are working to try to become the most sustainable city in America. And in addition to the energy efficiency associated with this building, to be able to have the kind of fresh fruits and produce that this store will sell will contribute mightily to the quality of what we do and what we eat here in the District of Columbia. In addition to that, and I know this will resonate mightily with our Deputy Mayor for Economic Development, Victor Hoskins, who is here with us, one of our 6 economic goals in our economic development plan is to end retail leakage in the District of Columbia. Who knows what retail leakage is? That's exactly right. I don't know if you heard the answer over there, but the answer is the dollars that leave the District of Columbia in terms of people who are living here in the city, and they go spend their dollars somewhere else. So not only are we looking to have people, right, Victor, shop in the neighborhood who live in the District of Columbia, but it would be all right if we can get a few of those Maryland and Virginia folk to come in and shop at this Giant, wouldn't it? We also know, and I was listening very carefully earlier when there was discussion about the fact that many of the jobs that are being filled by people who live in this neighborhood, people who live in the city. 100 jobs, and I hope we can add another 100 jobs to be able to continue to work on unemployment. When we came into office, unemployment was at 11.2%. Today it is at 8.5%, and a lot of that is because, bringing it down is because we have seen so much retail development here in the city, so much development In fact, our official crane counter, Deputy Mayor Hoskins, now tells me we have 61 cranes actively working across the District of Columbia. And of course, the amenities that are being brought by Giant. Giant is really one of the finest corporate citizens in the District of Columbia. And I say that as someone who's known Giant for many, many years. Giant is still doing, of course, its academic. Isn't that a great show? It may be the longest standing show on television in the district, 51, 52 years, I believe. And it's where they bring our kids together to really underscore the importance of their learning and to reinforce it by providing prizes to them in their high schools for the work that they do. And Giant has done so much else. I hate to single out again Barry Shear, but Barry Shear is somebody who has worked for many years across this city, representing Giant and representing the interests of Giant as a great corporate citizen. So the team that is working here, John and Charlton and the other folks who are working here, I want to wish you the absolute best. I can't wait to grab a basket and start walking around the store and filling it up, and I'm sure they can't wait for this program to be over so that they can start bringing the customers through. So again, I'm delighted to be here with our team. I'm delighted to be here with the council member, Tommy Wells, who represents this area. Delighted to be here with the ANC Commission and all the other officials who are part of helping the rejuvenation of our city. One of the things that will come later this year that we're excited about will be streetcars. It will be the resurrection, the restoration of streetcars to the District of Columbia. We had streetcars back in the early 1960s, and a bad decision was made, I think, to get rid of the streetcars. They will be back. There will be a line, the first line in the city, and the new renaissance, if you will start this year, 2013, and it will start right up the street, just below 3rd Street. And it will go all the way out to Oklahoma Avenue, right near Spingarn High School. And frankly, if streetcars work as they have worked elsewhere, I've been to Portland a couple of times to see their system. They attribute over a period of about a decade, about $8.5 billion of economic development to their streetcar system. Their streetcar system taking people to parts of the city where they otherwise might not have gone. So that's what we hope here. We want to continue to reinforce the great work that's been done on H Street. In the wake of the riots, again, growing up here, I know what that was like. People gave up on H Street. They thought it was gone forever because it got torched. Well, H Street is back, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you, Giant, and thank you, everybody else, for bringing this back to the District of Columbia. Thank you very much.
All righty. How you doing? I would like to invite Eleanor Holmes to come and say a few words.
Mayor Gray, Councilmember Wells, especially Giant employees. You mean I get to speak and shop too? Hey, look, why don't we just forget the speaking? I am thrilled. I'm thrilled to see this new Giant here on H Street. You know, moving into a DC neighborhood isn't easy because DC residents are sophisticated and they are skeptical. But you will not find a neighborhood that has to think twice about getting a brand new, beautiful Giant. Thank you very much for this new, wonderful store. Too many of our neighborhoods are starved for quality grocery stores. This is a prime location in our city. And so it is becoming more and more. But it has not had a state-of-the-art grocery store. But Giant is on a roll. Giant must like it because it certainly must like what it's finding. Because we all know about City Market at O Street. They're getting a Giant. So you see, our neighborhoods are getting jealous. We need a Giant on H Street. The new H Street is becoming. It's wonderful to have a a grocery store as the neighborhood itself is becoming. It's now known for its amenities and its nightlife and its affinity. But what it is a great urban mixture. 8th Street, remember, whatever else it is bordered by real families, always has been and is again. For the last several years, many of these families have stuck with the neighborhood, but there hasn't been a grocery store that's stuck with the neighborhood too. Thank you, Giant, for sticking with 8th Street and bringing us this great, new, wonderful store to 8th Street.
I would now ask that Councilmember Tommy Wells come up and say a few words.
Thank you very much. This is great, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Let me tell you, my hat's off to Guy Stewart. Guy Stewart, the developer owner of the property here, he had to work very hard to get this deal together. And kudos to Giant for you two coming together and bringing in a fresh, great grocery store to this neighborhood. You did a great job. And kudos to the mayor and our government that partnered with them, that had the vision to do this. What I love about this is that what this represents in this neighborhood is what I call 5-minute living. For the people that live around here, you can walk to great groceries now. There's great elementary schools you can walk to. You can walk to Union Station. From Union Station, you can go anywhere in the world, even Georgetown now that there's a circulator. That this is what's possible in Washington, D.C. Great livable, walkable neighborhoods with great amenities. It really is spectacular, and this is fun to be at. And again, Giant Foods, a long history in our city, provides certainly great products and fresh food, but also they're a great employer. And I'm very proud of our employees here today, very proud of Giant for being a part of our DC family, and this is very exciting. And thank you to everybody here to be a part of that celebration.
Thank you. I would now like to ask Mark Kazmachek to come up and say a few words from the ANC board.
Good afternoon. First, I want to thank Jamie and the rest of the staff and Giant for inviting me out here. You know, when I moved into the neighborhood around here, not too long ago actually, this whole space was a large, empty, fenced-in, dirty, vacant lot. I used to it's much better now. But you know, I used to run my dog around in it, and she loved it. I think she was the only one. We were a little disappointed when they started building and we lost that lot, but I think it's heads and shoulders above what it was before. This is a fantastic store. I'm so happy that it's here. As Congresswoman Norton said, this was really needed. This store was needed in this neighborhood. And not just a grocery store, but in general, practical, affordable retail is lacking in this neighborhood. And it's really fantastic that we're meeting that need with this store here. And not only that, it's a company that's going to be part of the community. It's a local company, and I think it's just wonderful that it's here. I also want to mention some of the work that's gone into getting this here, and I have to mention Tony Richardson, who was the ANC commissioner for this area before I was, and he's not here because he's at another ANC committee meeting. But you know, he's definitely done a lot of work to bring this here, as have a lot of the people here. So I just think it's fantastic that it's here. I'm really excited. I will be here a lot, so if you want to see me, you can probably find me here. And thank you all. Thank you.
It is also my distinct pleasure to introduce Guy Stewart of Stewart Investment Company. Guy led a team to develop the 368th Street multi-use project that John is very proud to be a part of. Mr. Guy Stewart, Senior Vice President of Stewart Investment Company.
All great speeches. I need to excuse myself and make the podium accessible to the man who's really been a vision for 8th Street for almost a decade now, perhaps even longer. I'd like to introduce the Executive Director of the 8th Street Main Street, Mr. Anwar Salim.
Thank you. Those are the first words I wanted to say out my mouth, guys. Thank you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I can remember when we first started this lot here with the Amoco gas station. And the plan was to build this lot as a block-long BP gas station. And we went to Guy Stewart and we said that this lot can become more. And he believed in that strategic plan, and he looked at us and he literally brought back what BP had and said, I believe in y'all's vision, I believe in the promise of 8th Street. And he decided to put housing here, which was 215 units of housing. And he said, we have to find a grocery store. We have to find a grocery store that serves this neighborhood. I believe this neighborhood is going to be great. And you very rarely find a developer who believes in the neighborhood first of the greatness that it can become. He saw that vision. And I would like to thank him for that. Also, I would like to thank Giant. Giant took a bold move to come to this quarter. You have competition around here, but in this neighborhood, we don't want it to be a competition. We want to make this the #1 Giant in this area. And I believe that with the fine employees they have here, with the residents that we have here, that we can make this one of the livable, walkable, enjoyable neighborhoods. We want you to come here, we want you to earn money, we want you to make this a great store. We want you to find a way to live here if you can, and shop here, and entertain here, where you can make this a great, enjoyable quarter for all of us. So thank you, thank Giant, thank all of you guys for coming out. You guys look so great out there, and if we can fill this store like this every day, over and over and over, this would be the greatest store in DC. Thank you.
You thought you were done with me. No, but I'm back. First of all, what a great turnout, what a beautiful day. I'd like to thank Congressman Norton and Mayor Gray, Councilmember Wells, my Giant friends Anthony and John and Charlton. Who am I forgetting? Anwar Salim, of course, and Commissioner Kemachek, who I've not met. Nice to meet you, sir. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. The 360H Project team, team members, gathered guests, neighbors, and 8th Street shoppers. About 2 years ago, many of you attended the 360H Street groundbreaking, standing perhaps even now in the same spots you stood on then. It was a blistering hot day, as you all can remember, and it was a rubble-strewn lot, as Mark noted. Thank you very much, Mark. With excavators and contractors from the Clark Builders Group idling, waiting for the positive circumstances to diminish, because we were ready to roll. Mayor Gray, Councilmember Wells, and Anwar encouraged us with their remarks that day, and we were comforted and catered to by the merchants and restaurants to the 8th Street corridor. We felt, as developer, I thought it was very important that we integrate ourselves into the community as best we could and rapidly, because I'm a long-term investor and I believe in the neighborhood, and that was just sort of a symbolic gesture that we wanted to be sincere about. The excitement and enthusiasm for a new project is a wonderful thing to share. And though I'm sure the mayor, council member, and Mr. Salim look forward to welcoming the new residents in the apartment above us, and particularly those in the 18 affordable units we are providing, what really got them and others excited was the anticipation of a new Giant grocery store and all its convenient offerings and transformative influences. I'm very happy and honored to have these fine people here share the dais with me today, and to share in today's celebration and help us welcome a community philanthropist, a decades-old DC proprietor, but a new 8th Street merchant. Please help me give a warm welcome to the Giant Food Store. As been alluded to previously, today marks the culmination of 8 years and countless hours of dedicated hard work. In preparing my remarks, I was reminded of the numerous times we appeared before governing bodies and public commissions espousing the benefits of this project, seeking consents, approvals, and amendments along the way. There are many people to thank, spanning 3 administrations, who helped usher this project along. It's been a long process involving patience and persistence, but we wouldn't be here today without the support of the District of Columbia and the 8th Street Main Street, who endorsed our request to amend the 8th Street overlay, permitting a grocery store on this end of 8th Street all the way back in 2005. Anwar, do you remember that? We wouldn't be here today without the support of Mayor Gray, who was then Chairman Gray, and Councilmember Wells and other council members and all the City Council who endorsed our application to close the alley network that used spaghetti and serpentine its way back behind these lots, allowing us to assemble this parcel in an entirely contiguity back in 2006. And we wouldn't be here today without the efforts of so many people, many of whom may be serving no longer in their official or voluntary capacities, but who deserve our thanks for participating in this project's evolution. From the folks volunteering on the advisory neighborhood commissions and neighborhood groups, the members of the community who attended these forums, and of course the detailed reviews of DCRA and DDOT, with whom we're still working collaboratively as we go through the streetcar construction, all played an important part. And in the end, when it comes to development, the city does very well what cities ought to do everywhere, and that's protect the public interest while encouraging its progress. And here we are. Grand opening of the first Giant Foods new urban format. The first grocery store and a streetcar in the city since before my time, certainly. I'll refrain from asking anyone if they remember. I don't want to date you all. And the first Giant Food store to open in the district since 2007. But more important than these tidbits of interest, this grand opening of the Giant is a seminal moment to the H Street corridor. Deservedly so. H Street is capturing lots of positive attention lately, well documented by folks in this diocese today. And this store, pardon the pun, puts a giant flag in the ground announcing to everyone coming across that bridge that H Street is a special neighborhood with abundance and amenities and locational attributes offering residents and visitors alike the opportunity to enjoy the quality of life afforded by this award-winning corridor. Monday night at the Great Streets award ceremony just down the street at the Atlas Theater, acknowledging the H Street Main Street as one of the 3 recipients of this year's National Historic Preservation Trust Awards. My good friend Anwar spoke about the changes to H Street since early 2000s. As he spoke, the sense of neighborhood and pride radiated and resonated. It was this sense of neighborhood, as much as the location, that convinced us years ago that H Street was the right spot for a new grocery store. And we're convinced it will be successful, not only for Giant and its parent company, Ahold, but also for sustaining that sense of pride by bringing residents, jobs, and opportunity to the neighborhood, as well as the convenience of its groceries. As I said earlier, a grocery store's influence on a community is transformative. Beyond the conveniences, a grocery store in many respects is like the school cafeteria. It's a place where you catch up on comings and goings, in this case, as shoppers browse for their daily necessities and weekly bargains. It is a place where relationships are rekindled, happenstance, and new ones formed. Some stores in unique locations, we know some of the names, like this one, take on the character of their neighborhood's developing nicknames, and I'll let the community decide what is the most appropriate nickname for this store. But for all its positive influences, grocery stores are a very busy commercial operation. And recognizing our juxtaposition to a residential neighborhood around us and the new community that we built above us, there are 215 units upstairs, which I'm happy to show people around. We sought out, along with our architect, Tori Ellis Urban, we tried to design a store from the outside that coexists with our neighbors, both architecturally and comprehensively within the streetscape fabric. For instance, with the assistance of financial incentives provided by the mayor and the city council and its finance chair, we provided an entire floor of parking dedicated solely for grocery patrons downstairs, separated by elevation from our residential parking. And one feature which people hopefully, I say will notice, I hope that they won't, is that we spent a few extra, we broke up the wallet, we spent extra few dollars to install giant loading dock doors. We forsake the tried and true but very industrial, noisy roll-up doors to install instead bifold doors which accommodate truck access quickly, hopefully quietly, and hopefully minimizing any noisy impact on adjacent neighbors. We also feature a giant convenience to our apartment residents by providing a secured interior access to the store from our apartment building lobby. I've suggested to our leasing team, Paradigm Management, that to close lease deals, they ought to inform prospective residents that the only cab they need call for groceries is the one that answers the elevator button at the end of the hall. For downstairs on the ground floor is a 42,000 square foot giant pantry. You have to wear your shoes according to the health department, but I don't see where pajamas are prohibited if you're so inclined. We know introducing a grocery store to the neighborhood often means seminal changes for a community, but in my mind, and certainly in Giants, this is no pioneering location. Much of the inspiration for revitalization came from the men and women who run small businesses up and down H Street, and we recognize the personal sacrifices and the investments made by these citizens, which contributed greatly to the making of H Street a great street before our arrival. Our task now is to serve the community for decades to come. And I appreciate and welcome each and every one of you for being here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Stewart. I also want to recognize Ms. Tracy Salloway, the Interim Director for Arts and Media Design Program at Gallaudet University. I'm pleased to announce a partnership between Giant and Gallaudet, where students from the University Art Department will create a mural inside of this store capturing the theme of Giant food as the nation's capital grocer. This mural will be unveiled at a ceremony later this year. Thank you, Professor Salloway, for joining us this evening, and we look forward to seeing the creative talents of your students. Before we cut the ribbon, I have one more piece of business. I would like to ask Ms. Laura Cohen Applebaum to join me here at the podium. Ms. Applebaum is the Executive Director of the Jewish Historical Society of Greater Washington, which currently houses many of Giant's historical artifacts and photos. As most of you know, Giant has a long history of giving back to the community. We are so privileged to serve. In honor of this grand opening of this new 8th Street Giant, it's my pleasure to present Ms. Applebaum and the Jewish Historical Society of Greater Washington with a check for $2,500. Now I want to invite all of our dignitaries, special guests, John Hicks, to come forward and help me cut the ribbon as we celebrate the grand opening of our new corporate store.
That should do it. How about a countdown from 3, everybody? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Look this way, please.